The Enchanted Library. In the small, sleepy town of Elderton, there was a quaint little bookstore named the Enchanted Library. Its shelves were packed with dusty old tomes, forgotten manuscripts, and books that seemed to whisper secrets from the past. The owner, Mrs. Winthrop, was a kind woman with silver hair and a twinkle in her eye, known for her warm smile and an uncanny ability to find just the right book for anyone who walked through her door. One autumn afternoon, a young woman named Clara entered the store. She had recently moved to Elderton seeking a fresh start after a difficult year. The bookstore was her sanctuary, and she spent hours perusing the aisles, losing herself in stories of distant lands and magical adventures. On this particular day, Clara was drawn to a dusty, leather-bound book on the top shelf of a neglected corner. It had no title, only an intricate pattern embossed on its cover. As she reached for it, Mrs. Winthrop appeared beside her. "Ah, you've found it," Mrs. Winthrop said softly. "That's a special book." Clara looked at her with curiosity. "What do you mean?" "It's not just any book," Mrs. Winthrop explained. "It's a gateway." Clara's eyes widened. "A gateway to what?" "To a world that exists just beyond our own," Mrs. Winthrop said with a mysterious smile. "But only if you truly believe." Intrigued, Clara opened the book. As she turned the pages, they seemed to shimmer and shift, revealing a map of a fantastical land with forests of silver trees, mountains that touched the stars, and rivers of liquid gold. At the center of the map was a glowing emerald-green dot. Without warning, the room around Clara began to fade, and she found herself standing at the edge of a magnificent forest. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sky above was a brilliant tapestry of swirling colors. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. As Clara ventured into the forest, she encountered talking animals, mischievous fairies, and wise old creatures who spoke in riddles. Each encounter seemed to guide her closer to the emerald-green dot on the map. She faced challenges that tested her courage and wisdom, and with each victory, she grew stronger and more confident. After what felt like an eternity of adventure, Clara finally reached the heart of the forest, where the emerald dot glowed with an otherworldly light. There she discovered a magnificent tree with branches that sparkled like stars. At the base of the tree was a small, ancient chest. Clara opened the chest and found a beautiful, shimmering crystal. As she held it, a warm, comforting light enveloped her, and she felt a profound sense of peace and understanding. The crystal seemed to hold the answers to all the questions she had been carrying in her heart. With the crystal in hand, Clara returned to the bookstore. The magical world began to fade, and she found herself back in the Enchanted Library, the book now closed on the shelf. Mrs. Winthrop greeted her with a knowing smile. "Did you find what you were looking for?" Clara nodded, her eyes shining with newfound clarity. "Yes, I found more than I could have ever imagined." From that day on, Clara felt a deep sense of purpose and contentment. She continued to visit the bookstore and shared her experiences with others, inspiring them to believe in the magic that lay just beyond the ordinary. And so, the Enchanted Library remained a place of wonder, where dreams and reality intertwined, and where anyone with a willing heart could find their own extraordinary adventure.